What's going on, YouTube modeling community? Pappy here at West Georgia Rods and Customs. Well, the beginning of the 55 Chevy Pro Street build-along begins tonight. I'm not doing a live tonight. I came in kind of late today, but I wanted to put out the beginning parts of what I'm going to start to attempt. As many of you already know, that I'm going to be taking this kit and taking this kit, and we're going to be actually kit bashing these two to create Scott Sullivan's beautiful 55 Chevy Pro Street called Cheese Whiz. If any of you have done the research on it and have kind of looked at that car, what my intended path on with this, as far as in this build along, is to build it exactly like what kind of what it looks like. I'm not going to try to duplicate the motor, but I am going to duplicate as far as the color of the car. We're going to be doing. I'm not going to try to duplicate, like I say, the motor or anything like that, but we are going to duplicate the color. I'm going to show you how to get that deep, that beautiful bright orange pop like it would like it shows on his car. We're going to try to we're going to get the stance as far as how that Pro Street car sets. Using this kit right here, the 67 Chevelle Pro Street kit, that's what helps as far as help achieve that. I'm going to show y'all how to just to get everything to line up and how to get these two kits to play nicely together. One of the good parts about the AMT 67 Chevelle Pro Street kit and the AMT 55 Chevy, I've already pulled some of the parts out, and let me get this beautiful box art of this one and this one out of the way, and we'll jump in and I'll show you what I'm doing right here. Of course, there's the body that comes out of it. That's the interior tub. We will be possibly utilizing the interior tub, but we'll determine that later on down, further down during the, some of the mock-up stages of everything. But here, what I've done right here, I pulled out all the, as far as the frame on both kits, both the Pro Street kit. This one right here, this is the 67 Chevelle Pro Street kit. And I've kind of mocked up the suspension a little bit on it. And I have, I had this one turned over. But I've actually put, this is the frame off of the 55 Chevy. So what I did, I put the rear end and the front end together. And the reason I do that, first thing I wanted to figure out is, do I need to back half this? And what I mean by back halving is possibly cutting this back half off right here of the Chevelle and grafting it onto the 55 Chevy frame. I got to looking at it, and I kind of made the decision of not to use this frame. Reason being, the exhaust system is molded into that. That's going to be kind of a pain in the butt to try to cut all that out and lose all that. So what I decided to do was to utilize the Chevelle kit. One of my subscribers was emailing me one day, texting me back and forth, and we were talking about possibly utilizing this. And what I did was decide was to take the Pro Street Chevelle frame. And the first thing I want to do when I do any Pro Street builds, I always want to take some reference points. And usually, Scully, give me a hand. You're gonna get in on this build too, son. Usually what I do is, once I mock up the rear axle on the original kit, I like to get it where I can take a center line measurement from the center of that axle tube all the way up to the center of the front, where the front wheel axles are going to go. And if you look very closely at that, that particular kit has got actually 3 positions on it. So I'm going to be utilizing the top position of the axle hub. And when I measure that, in relation to that, you can see what I come up with on a center to center. It's about 4, and I think it's almost 4 5/8 center to center on the axle. And then if you take a rough measurement from that center of that wheel well to that center of that wheel well in the front, you'll get, you'll have really the positioning of where you want to put your tires. So with that being said, we're not even going to utilize this frame. So I'm going to set that to the side. So what I did was I took the Chevelle Pro Street frame. There's a little difference in the width from side to side of that. I'm going to show y'all how to fix that. As far as that, we'll have to be adding some styrene onto the side of this. I'll show y'all how to get that, glue that in, take your measurements on that. But what I did also was I just mocked up the rear end here and mocked up the, as far as the front end, as far as the axles on that. And I took my measurement, and sure enough, as far as from the center of this axle hub to the center of the front hubs right here is right at 4 5/8. So we're going to utilize this particular frame in the build right here. Plus it allows me, if you can see how, this is a beautiful 4-link suspension once you get it all in there. And what I'll be trying to do, of course, I'm going to be trying to tuck these big Pro Street meats, which these are the ones that comes in the Chevelle kit. And these beautiful wheels, these are just about exact copies of the wheels that are on Scott Sullivan's 55 Pro Street build called Cheese Whiz. So these are going to be the tire and wheel combos that I'm going to be using. And what I want to do now, what I was talking about as far as I can drop that rear end a lot more. I'll be covering how to lower that suspension and get these tires as low in there as far as in that wheel well, and getting them tucked up under that fender well right there. And we'll also show everyone how to get that suspension lowered. I know I got this thing turned upside down, but I'll be showing y'all how to get that. You get a nicer rake on it when you as far as the suspension, the way I'm going to show everyone how to design, actually how to fabricate you some axles that actually stick it up in there. Now, one of the things, and I know this isn't going to be weak for the weak of heart. In the next update 2, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a lot of markings right here. These front fender wells are going to go away, because if you look over in that in the engine compartment right there, this kit already has fender wells molded into it, so that's fine. We're gonna leave those in there. We're not gonna cut them out or anything. We're not even gonna change that firewall any at all. But we are going to take, and I'll draw some lines with a Sharpie down through there. We'll probably wind up taking a Dremel and cutting both these fender wells off, and as well as cutting this the suspension as far as the bottom of the radiator core support. And I'll show everybody how, like I say, kit bashing isn't for the weak of heart, but then again too, I'm gonna show y'all some simple ways to do this. It's easier. It's the easiest way I like to do it, but I utilize this. I utilize the 67 Chevelle Pro Street frame for a lot of different builds that I've done over the years. And once it's what you can actually take you can actually cut some of this body out in here, which I had showed somebody earlier how to do that on one of my other builds, and actually bring that center to center positioning of bring that from, I think it's most kits are 4 5/8 on center to center of the front and rear axle, and some of them are a little bit narrower. I want to say somewhere around 4 1/4. So, but I ain't gonna show y'all on this one, but I've done it on one of my other ones. I think it was the 70 Mustang Pro Street kit that I did, or Pro Street build. I had to narrow that center to center on that down to a shorter distance. But this is where we're starting at tonight. I kind of wanted to pull some parts out and get some things just kind of mocked up, showing y'all some of it takes a little bit of planning to do a Pro Street build, and getting it, try to figure out what's going to work and what's not going to work. But like I say, this particular frame. This is the one that come out of the 55 Chevy kit. We're doing away with that, and we're going to go strictly with this one right here. And I feel pretty confident that as far as the interior tub, it will set. It actually does set down on that frame very nicely. I'll show y'all too later on once we get a little bit deeper into this build along. How to take measurements as far as to see if it fits on here, fits fairly well, but we might have to do some modifications to get it to fit later on where it matches up with the, as far as with the top of the windows and things like that. So, but in the next update, we'll be taking, I will do a live on it. That way we start getting into a little deeper of the kit bash process with doing this build, but I laid out the firewall from the Chevy kit just in case we might need it, but I'll go through and pick out some more of the parts later on, maybe the end of this week or maybe over the weekend, and we will we'll go with with the next update. But I really appreciate everybody that's been giving me the thumbs up on this and getting ready to join in on this build. So, but if you've got any if you got any questions or anything, join in on the live once we get deeper into this build on the next update. Jump in on the live. You got any questions? Then I'll try to answer them. But if you've got any other, just hit me. Drop me a message down here in the direct message, and I'll be glad to accommodate anybody with questions in there. I'll try to answer as much as I can on it. So, but anyhow, appreciate everybody that's joining in on this build along. And I tell you what, I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a fun build. I got the colors picked out. Like I say, we're going to build it just like Scott Sullivan's Cheese Whiz. It's going to have that beautiful orange pop. I call it orange pop, but it's that orange. Just I'm going to show y'all how to get it where it looks like it's not really a. I'm trying to think how to word it, but we're going to be using a silver instead of a white primer. We're going to be using silver as our base primer. So, but anyhow, looking forward to everybody joining on this. And remember, folks, if you can dream it, build it. God bless y'all. Pappy out of here.